Martin Guptill and Wayne Madsen both scored hundreds as Derbyshire took total control of their LV County Championship match with Glamorgan on the second day in Derby. Having bowled Glamorgan out for an under par 236 on the first day, Derbyshire knew that this one was about batting themselves well ahead in the game. They began on 22 without loss and made steady progress after a delayed start of more than an hour. Simon Jones, back to full fitness, nearly had some early success, but a diving Mark Wallace just couldn't hold on to a fine leg side glance from Guptill, the first of 3 lives he was given. He was on 17 at this stage. He did lose his opening partner Paul Borrington with 43 runs on the board, Michael Reed catching the edge of his bat for his maiden first-class wicket. Jim Allenby also thought he'd seen the back of Madsen early on, but this shout for LBW was answered in the negative. And that turned out to be a big decision as Guptill and Madsen then settled in. Guptill has begun this season in top form. He plays aggressively to give his side a positive start, and here he hit the 23-year-old East Midlander Reed for 3 successive boundaries, just to show who was boss. Those who were watching were soon getting used to the Kiwi smashing the ball to the fence. His 9th 4 took him to his half-century. He'd been at the crease for 88 balls, but he was really now just getting into his groove, as Glamorgan was soon to discover. Having said that, he should have been heading back to the pavilion on 65, but somehow he was let off after chipping a ball from Hugh Waters to mid-off. Nick James will be pleased that his actions were not caught on screen. Many eyes were on Simon Jones, back in a Glamorgan shirt for the first time since August 2007. He may only jog in these days, but the 2005 Ashes hero can still generate some pace, as Madsen was finding out. The Derbyshire captain made a sluggish start, something he could afford to do because of Guptill, but as his innings progressed, he began to find his range, as the partnership between these two started to become something rather significant. Of course, Guptill dominated much of it. He strikes a cricket ball with an awful lot of power, and once hit, not many are going to stop the ball from racing to the boundary. He struck many of his boundaries in clusters as he now raced through the 90s. His second ton of the season arrived from his 143rd delivery with his 19th 4. It was wonderful stuff from the man from Auckland, who has 22 Test caps and 60 ODI ones under his belt. He looks ideally suited to county cricket too. Many big scores do have moments of fortune in them, and Guptill was given a 3rd life after being dropped by Jones, which denied Marcus North his first wicket for Glamorgan. It was another gilt-edged opportunity. Madsen, in a rich vein of form after recently scoring a ton against Gloucestershire on this ground, now added a 50 to that. It had come off 123 balls, 5 of which had brought him boundaries. After trying without success for 45 overs, in which Guptill and Madsen took their partnership to 170, Glamorgan finally broke through as Guptill, on a brilliant 132, gave Reed his second first-class wicket, leg before the decision. Wes Durston also hit a rapid 100 off 97 balls in his last innings against Hampshire last weekend. He looked in a similar mood here as he pulled Reed for a 6 early on in his innings. A glorious drive through the covers then took Derbyshire to 250 as they now started to build a healthy first innings advantage. With Madsen moving along in an unflustered manner at the other end, a substantial lead indeed looked on the cards. The Derbyshire skipper was happy to wait for the bad ball, which he generally timed well off the meat of his bat to keep his score ticking over nicely. The lead stood at 37 when Durston fell with a total on 273. North, the hero for Glamorgan with the bat on the first day, now had an impact with the ball as Durston swept him in the air to Jones, who held on this time. Dan Redfern began his innings as the leading run scorer in the second division. He didn't get off the mark this time, however, North taking the easiest of catches off a leading edge for his second wicket. The key wicket was now the one of Madsen, although he gave no sign of getting out. This 4 took him within a shot of his 100, and a nudge through square leg off North got him to 3 figures for the second time in 3 matches. This one had needed 192 balls to reach. 40 of his runs had come in boundaries in what was another very good knock. Ross Whiteley walloped North for a 6 before the Australian got his revenge with his 3rd success. But Madsen remained until the close, by which time he'd made 122 to put his side into a very strong position. They go into the penultimate day on 333 for 5, and that gives them a lead of 99. Another good session with the bat on the third morning will put heaps of pressure on Glamorgan when they come out to bat for a second time.